Millard Fillmore signed the Compromise of 1850, and with it, the Fugitive Slave Act. Northerner abolitionists called him a traitor. Southerners barely trusted him. So how did a man from upstate New York end up becoming one of the most divisive presidents in the 1800s? Welcome to Presidential Paradox, and today we are talking about our 13th U.S. president. Fillmore was born in a log cabin in upstate New York, raised in extreme poverty. He was self-educated, ended up becoming a cloth maker, and later became a lawyer. He's a classic rags to respectability story, and he embodied the American dream. Millard was elected to Congress in the 1830s as a Whig and gained a reputation as a careful compromiser. He ran for vice president in 1848 under Zachary Taylor as a regional pick. Taylor was Southern, Fillmore was Northern. It was for balance. A couple cool facts about Millard Fillmore. 1, he founded the University of Buffalo. And 2, he installed the first bathtub in the White House. Now, what case can we make for Millard being one of the most marvelous presidents in U.S. history? Well, for one, he really did support national unity. He took office during a near crisis over slavery and territorial expansion. He backed the Compromise of 1850, which briefly calmed tensions between the North and the South. And he advocated preserving the Union at all costs, seeing himself as a natural stabilizer. 2, he was lawful and steady. He ran a relatively scandal-free White House term. He kept the executive branch functioning during a fragile political time, and he tried to balance the interests of both the North and the South with pragmatism. Now, what case can we make for Fillmore being one of our presidential failures? Well, for one, he signed the Fugitive Slave Act. It required escaped slaves to be returned to the South, even from free states, and punish those who helped them. It was deeply unpopular with the North, which led to riots, protests, and a stronger abolitionist sentiment. It was arguably one of the most controversial legislations of the 1800s, let alone the 1850s. Fillmore thought it was necessary to uphold the Constitution and maintain a Union peace, but morally, it was a disaster. He also had weak leadership on the subject of slavery. He didn't oppose slavery, didn't advocate for it. He wanted to just keep things neutral. He cared less about slavery itself as an issue and more about keeping the peace. And trying to please everyone, he alienated both sides. He failed to seize the moment of moral leadership like presidents would after him. His neutrality might have been strategic, but it made him look spineless in hindsight. And he was a know-nothing candidate. In 1856, he ran for president again with the American Party, aka the Know-Nothings, which focused on anti-immigration and nativism. This tarnished his legacy. He was seen as embracing fear-based politics during a time of national strain, which is why he didn't win re-election and kind of went out in shame. Now, a couple what-ifs for Millard. If Fillmore had vetoed the Fugitive Slave Act, it could have changed the trajectory of abolitionist politics. What do you think? And instead, he's remembered as a man who chose temporary peace over moral clarity. Any other thoughts you have about him? Place in the comment section below. Now, how are we going to grade Millard Fillmore? Where will he stand on the presidential tier list I have compiled? Well, first up, road to the White House. He climbed from poverty, worked his way up. Classic underdog story, which I'm going to give a classic C. What about his successes? He managed national tension and passed the Compromise of 1850, which momentarily prevented civil war. I'll give him an okay C+ for successes. Now, what about his failures and controversies? He didn't have much controversy except the Fugitive Slave Act, which was a pretty moral blunder. I'm going to give him a mid-grade C for that as well. Now, what about his morality and ethics? He chose the Union over human rights themselves. Defensible pragmatism or cowardice, up to you to decide. Once again, I felt like giving him a mid-grade C for that. Now, what about his long-term impact? He delayed war, but inflamed division further. I don't see much long-term impact outside of this seen today. So once again, I'm going to give him in the middle a C. Now, what about his leadership and vision? He lacked a strong moral compass and followed rather than actually leading. I'm going to have to give Millard a pretty sorry D+ for leadership and vision. Now, what about public sentiment? He was unpopular by the end and mocked later in his life. Not really seen in a highlight today. Again, I'm going to give him a pretty low D for popularity. Now, finally, constitutional respect. This is his best category. He followed legal precedent closely, even when it was widely unpopular. I'm going to give him a respectable B for constitutional respect. So, Millard Fillmore's final grade in my eyes, where he lands on the tier list, is going to be a C-. I think he's a below average president. Fillmore tried to be the steady hand that the country needed, but in doing so, he may have worsened the storm to come. History forgot him, but maybe not unfairly. Again, let me know what you think about Millard in the comments below. Hit me with the like button if you like this series and you want to see more. Put me on that algorithm. And if you want to see outdoor videos or some of the faith-related content I produce, hit that subscribe button and join the Southern Woods community. And finally, of course, like any good president, you got to be part of a secret society. We have one of those in the membership program link below. You get some cool bonus content like seeing videos weeks in advance and getting some exclusive stuff no one else gets to see. So I recommend clicking it there down below. I will see you on the next one. Southern Woods out.